Hey guys, somehow I forgot to record my intro, but today we're going to be making tostadas, Spanish rice, and refried beans. I'm going to start by frying up some corn tortillas to make the tostadas nice and crispy. Before you get started, make sure to preheat your pan to medium-high heat before adding the oil, and then make sure the oil is nice and hot before adding any of the tortillas. You really want to keep your eye on these because they will get brown on the bottom really quickly. You'll see in my cast iron skillet I have a plate with a paper towel on top. That is so that when these are done frying, I can remove them onto the paper towel and let all of that excess oil drain off. Next on our to-do list is to chop our vegetables. We're going to have peppers and onions mixed in with our taco meat just for a little bit of extra nutrition and flavor and texture. I'm starting out with a red bell pepper, onion, and garlic to go in the meat mixture, and you'll see some other vegetables kind of in front of my cutting board here. That is going to be used later on to make some guacamole. If you've been with me long at all, you know how I chop garlic, so I cut the video off here. And same thing with the onion too, but you're not missing much. Once our veggies are ready, it's time to start cooking the meat. We want to make sure this is browned all the way through, so I've got about a pound of hamburger meat. You can use whatever kind of meat that you prefer. It's easier if it's ground, and I'm just going to make sure that this is cooked all the way through before I add any of my vegetables. I'm draining any extra grease. Once I'm happy with that, it's time to add the peppers and onions. Again, if you are familiar with my channel, you'll know I'll wait until a little bit later to add the garlic so that we don't get too much of a burned flavor. It turns bitter if you cook it too long. And I'm using my hands to measure the spices this time instead of my measuring spoons, but I'm just adding some chili powder, some cumin, garlic and onion powder, paprika, salt, and pepper to this mixture just to give it a little bit of seasoning. Mix that together really well. You'll notice it's still pretty dry. We're going to solve that in just a little bit here. Now it's time to add that garlic and get it stirred in until it's nice and fragrant. And then we're going to add about a half a cup of water to cool off the garlic and kind of slow down that cooking process. And it's going to help to combine the spices and the meat mixture. Always, always, always taste as you cook. That's how you have good food. And as you can see, I didn't season it well enough, so I'm adding just about everything again here to make sure I've got plenty of flavor. Now it's time to start that Spanish rice. I'm going to start by heating up some oil in a pan and add my cup of rice. This is just about enough for 2 people. We do tend to have leftovers. And I'm going to fry this rice for a few minutes until it's nice and golden brown. It kind of smells like popcorn. It's got a really nice toasty smell to it. Make sure you do not smell anything burned or else you'll have to start all over. So get this nice and toasty. It's going to draw out water. I've added some garlic to it, and once the garlic is fragrant, I'm going to add salt, cumin, and some tomato sauce, which you'll see here in a minute. That serves as a flavoring and also helps to cool that garlic off to stop the cooking process. I didn't follow my recipe when adding the tomato sauce. I added an entire 8-ounce can, and I should have added probably about half of that for my 1 cup of rice. It was very tomatoey, but still good. One of the last things I need to add is chicken stock, and I'm gonna put about 2 cups of chicken stock in this. It's just substituting for water, and the rice will suck that up and have a really nice flavor. Next, I'm gonna go back over to my vegetables, and it's time to chop up some things for toppings and also for the guacamole. So I reserved some onion from earlier. Here I am dicing up a tomato, and this is gonna be partially used as a topping, and also some will go in the guacamole. You'll notice that there's not too much tomato juice on my cutting board, and if you are cutting your tomatoes and there's just juice and water flowing out everywhere, that means that your knives are dull and you need to either get some new knives or make sure that they're nice and sharp. After we're done with that, it's time to process our avocados. Be really careful if you're using your knife to take the pits out like I am here, because the pits are extremely slippery and you don't want to cut yourself. I know an avocado is ripe if the outside is a nice dark color, and it's just a little bit squishy if you try and squeeze it before you cut it open. I'm going to add in some of the diced tomato, some diced onion, the garlic that I've got minced here, some salt and cumin, and finally cilantro. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the lime juice, which is really important not only for flavor, but it helps keep the avocado from turning brown. Next, I'm just going to roughly chop a leaf of romaine lettuce. And the rest of this video is me just tidying up a little bit, getting the rest of our toppings situated. Here I am grating some cheese. You'll notice I didn't have any footage of the refried beans, and that's because they came out of a can. At this point, you can build your tostada however you like. You can change out, leave out, add whatever kind of toppings you want. Sometimes my family has had coconut or peanuts or all kinds of things, so whatever you prefer, that's the beauty of this recipe. You can really customize it to make it your own. I want to thank you guys for sticking it out until the end. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section. Also, if you're new around here, please subscribe if you want to see some of my videos that are coming out in the future. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!